Hello, Squirrel Tribe. So I want you to listen to this really quickly, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what has just transpired, what just happened to Donald Trump. But first, you need to hear what this man has to say.
Are you concerned that Trump might be elected again?
Sure. I think it's very likely. And if it happens, it is likely to be the kind of like the death blow to what remains of the global order. And he says it openly. Now again, it should be clear that many of these politicians, they present a false dichotomy, a false binary vision of the world, as if you have to choose between patriotism and globalism, between being loyal to your nation and being loyal to some kind of, global government or whatever.
Now listen, if I can get this thing to turn down, it's so loud. Here is what you need to know. This man said, this is the WEF's, the World Economic Forum's, Yuval Noah Harari. And he said, basically summed up, that if Trump becomes president again in 2024, it will be the final death blow to the global order. Now, today, just less than an hour ago, Donald Trump's plane had to make an emergency landing. And would you like to know why they had to make an emergency landing? They're saying there was something wrong with the hydraulics. According to this, Colin Rugg put this up just over an hour ago, 4:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it says Donald Trump's plane was forced to make an emergency landing in Billings, Montana due to a mechanical issue. The plane was headed to the Bozeman airport where Trump is holding a rally when it was forced to change course. Trump is now expected to take a private plane to Bozeman so he is able to make the rally on time. And you can see the plane having to land here. And my very first thought was, well, I guess July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania didn't work out well. We were told to expect another assassination attempt. It's been told to us numerous times. And here you are with an airplane that Donald Trump happens to be in, with, I think he calls it Trump Force One, and there happens to be the need for a emergency landing because of some mechanical issue. Literally, they are telling you right now that they do not want him in power. The guy from the World Economic Forum, WEF, the WEF, whatever, specifically said that politicians, he said the word politicians. Donald Trump is not a politician. Donald Trump is a businessman, but they use the word politicians as to give him a negative connotation. But that man was saying that if Donald Trump becomes president in 2024, it will cause a problem for what the WEF, the WHO, the World Health Organization, all these people that want one world order, it'll put a kink in their plans because he's not willing to play that game where the United States becomes some pawn in the whole grand scheme of things. Unlike Biden, unlike Kamala Harris, unlike Obama even, who are perfectly okay with that. They want us to be part of this big global whatever, and everything's outsourced. The United States can't do anything for itself. Donald Trump does not want that. So when you hear the WF talking about, Donald Trump would be the death to their plans, that lets you know that it's much bigger than just a shitty Secret Service who doesn't do their job in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's more than just whatever's going on with this plane. It is a bigger picture. It's more than just Kamala Harris and Tim Walz trying to pay influencers and people to talk trash about Trump and, talk great about them, paying them to be at the DNC. There is a much bigger issue going on right now that we have got to be aware of, because Donald Trump literally is not safe when it comes to the bigger players in the game, not just in the United States, but around the world, the bigger players in the game who want that one world order, who want that one government, who want everything, all the money to be one type of money. They want everything to be either crypto or Bitcoin, or they want the CBDC, central bank digital currency, all these things, because Trump is not about all of that, right? And I think that this is a sign. With this plane right now, today, having issues and having to land, it's a sign that we've got to do the best that we can to protect Donald Trump, because they are clearly after him. Now, I have so many things I want to talk to you about, and they don't all go together, but what's new over here? The plane crash, I spoke it too soon. The plane thing is ironic in the sense that there is a huge plane crash today, and I want to show you this. I saw this right before the Donald Trump emergency landing in his plane, and I don't know if people believe in like signs and stuff like that. But I saw this plane crash that happened. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. And my very first thought was, how? I literally started Googling everything. I am not a pilot. I do not know how planes, I don't even understand how those big jokers stay up in the sky the way they do, right? So I don't know how this crash occurred. I have Googled everything I could to find out how a plane can do what this plane just did. And they're talking about turbulence and whatever else. And still none of it makes sense. Let me show you this video. But when I saw this, my very first thought was, this is horrible. How did they make this happen? Why did this plane crash? What was in the city that it crashed in? Who was on board? And I'm going to show you the crash, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm like, who was on board this plane? Because something is not adding up. So let me show you this, if I can get it to come up. This is the passenger plane full of people falls out of the sky in Brazil. Pay close attention to the video. Look at this. This plane is literally falling straight down. The first time I saw this, I said, is that real? I thought it was a fake video. I sent it to my husband. I said, babe, is this real? Like this, it's literally falling straight down. You think of how helicopters land. There's one airplane that can do this, and that's called an Osprey. It can land straight down, right? Planes don't land straight down. Generally speaking, when a plane loses turbulence or has turbulence, or it loses power, loses engines, they can glide. So they would still do this. If all power is lost in a plane, they're still going to be able to glide somehow. Planes do not literally just drop out of the sky. Literally fell straight down in a spiral. Makes absolutely no sense to me. And again, I can't find anything that would explain why it would drop straight down. Even with turbulence, it says it can drop 3,000 to 6,000 feet. Well, planes are supposed to be much, much higher than 3,000 to 6,000 feet. That was not near an airport. It wasn't on its way into land. It wasn't on a takeoff. It should have been at regular height. And here we are. Regular height, I believe, is 30,000 feet in the air. Could be wrong. I didn't Google that part. But I believe it's close to 30,000 feet. And for it to fall straight down like that. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot on this right now. So I Googled, of course, I went, CNN was the first one that came up, and it says 61 dead after passenger plane crashes in Brazil. Here is the picture of the plane. That thing is fully demolished. And it says at least 61 people were killed after a passenger plane crashed on the outskirts of Sao Paulo on Friday afternoon, according to Brazilian officials. Authorities have located the black box flight recorder at the crash site, so hopefully there'll be some sort of answer there. The cause of the crash is still unclear. According to airline Viopass, they said in a statement after that happened, the plane was traveling from Cascavel in the Brazilian state of Paraná to Sao Paulo, and I'm butchering all this. I have no accent. I'm sorry for that. CNN has confirmed through geolocation that the plane crashed in a residential area of Veneto, Brazil. Brazil's civil defense said the aircraft crashed into multiple houses. Dramatic social media videos show the plane crashing in the residential area and then a plume of gray smoke going up in the sky. So they say at least 61 people have died, right? And you see the video of the plane. Now there is another, man, come here, because you know how this iPad thing works. It doesn't ever want to do its thing. So I Googled and I said, Google, what makes a plane fall straight down? That was my question. What makes a plane fall straight down? And pitch makes a plane descend or climb. The pilots adjust the levers and then it's a pitch. It's this way. It's still not like this. And then it says, can a plane fall straight down? No, the plane still has lift, and though it's descending, it is gliding forward. It says the plane can have an aerodynamic stall. It can lose airflow, but it's still going to go forward, not straight down. And all these different things that I looked up, nothing says why it would fall straight down, why a plane would fall vertically. I can't find anything. Then again, maybe I'm missing something or phrasing it incorrectly. It says turbulence associated with thunderstorms can be extremely hazardous. That can make it fall as much as 2,000 to 6,000 feet, which we already discussed, but I can't find anything, right? So then this other video, hold on, nope, not it, go back. There's another video of the plane from a different angle, if this will play. Come on, play. This is from a different angle. It looks like something out of a TV show or a movie falling straight down. This guy's video sucks, but it fell straight down. It has hit. Where is the explosion? Like, where is, there it is. It took a minute, but you would expect to see fire, I would think. There's a lot of smoke. I would have expected to see fire. That surprised me that there wasn't any. But so you have that, right? But when you look at everything here, come on, open. Y'all, I wish that there was a better way to do this. Oh, okay, here we go. So, look at this. All these different headlines. Some say 61 people, some say 62. There is no confirmed number. Plane crash kills all 61 aboard. Plane crash kills all 62 aboard. How do you not know how many people are on that plane? In order to get on the plane, you have to scan a ticket. All the tickets that are scanned, you can easily look back and you have a flight log of who was on the plane, of the pilot, the co-pilot, the stewardess, the steward, I guess if that's the dude, and whoever else is on the plane. Why is it off by one number on so many different things? So my question is, who is the one person that they don't want us to know is on that plane? This is the conspiracy theorist in me who always questions things like this. One person obviously is either not on the plane or it was supposed to be on the plane, or is on the plane and they don't want you to know it's on the plane. I cannot figure out how to phrase that correctly. But why are the numbers off? It should not be difficult to know exactly how many people were aboard the plane, because this does not include the people that died from the being on the ground and the homes that were hit. This literally says aboard the plane, and it's 61 or it's 62. And I don't understand why there is a difference in number, because you have the plane logs of who is on the plane, and it should be an easy 61 or an easy 62. There should be no miscommunication between those two numbers. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I saw that, and then literally right after it, I see the thing about Donald Trump's plane, and I was like, 2 planes, literally back to back. Guess what I'm not doing anytime soon? Putting my ass on an airplane. I'll tell you that much right now. Definitely not going to happen. But I saw all that, and we're getting closer and closer to the DNC, the Democratic National Convention or whatever. And the closer we get to the DNC, the more I personally worry about what's going to happen to Donald Trump, even to J.D. Vance. I don't think they would go after J.D. Vance, but you just never know. I'm also kind of curious if at the DNC we're going to have a whole new VP candidate, a different vice president candidate, because right now Tim Walz, he is literally being looked at for stolen valor. I had never heard of stolen valor before. I didn't know what it was. I'm not military. My husband's not military, and I have military in my family, but it was my grandfather, and he passed away when I was little. So I don't have a lot of stories from him. I know my mom lived in a lot of different countries when she was little because my grandfather was in the Air Force. And so that's cool as crap, you know, living in Germany, living in France, living in all these different places. And I've heard some things, and I've seen pictures of him in uniform and stuff like that, but I don't really have anybody in my family like that's still alive that can tell me military stories. So I've never heard the phrase stolen valor before. And then when Tim Walz came out and started talking about how he was, you know, the 3-word ranking that he was, which I cannot remember, and people are like, well, no, you weren't, you technically didn't make it. My husband and I actually have a video about it where he talked about it on his channel, and I'll put that at the end of this video at the end screen. You guys can check it out if you want, but he talked about it. And right now people are going, no, Tim Walz, that's stolen valor. You're telling people you went to Afghanistan, that you were deployed, that you fought and you did all these things, and you didn't. And they're saying that he has used this throughout his career at speaking engagements where he was paid to speak at these things and for other things. And the whole thing with stolen valor is if he made any sort of money off of a lie that was spoken in regards to a service that he did not actually do because he didn't actually go to Afghanistan, then that is considered stolen valor, and that's a felony. So here we are, you know, everybody's talking about, oh, Trump this and Trump that, and, you know, he could be in jail, but it's literally the possible vice president for Kamala Harris that could be in jail before Election Day if they do decide to bring up charges against this stolen valor, because he has used it so very often. You can jump on any social media site right now and see people who have been in the military, because Tim Walz was in the National Guard. You can see plenty of people who've been in the military jumping on all social media platforms and calling him out, saying, listen, here is an actual picture of me in combat or me overseas with my squad, with my platoon, with my whatever words go with it. And he can't do it because he went to Italy, but there was no fighting while he was there. He never went to Afghanistan, yet he continues to let you believe the way he phrases it, that he was there in Afghanistan and that he fought for this country in Afghanistan. And that's just not the case. So I'm curious. You have Josh Shapiro, who clearly said no when Kamala Harris offered him the vice presidency option. Again, we talked about it yesterday. Their 5-day, 7-state rally tour, campaign tour, fund-making tour started in Philly. It would not have started in Philly if Shapiro had not been the presumed vice presidential candidate or pick. It would have started in some place in Minnesota where Tim Walz is from. We all know that to be true. But Shapiro was like, not tying my name to this, horse and pony show. I have not. That's funny. Holy crap, that's funny. It was not even intended, but the horse thing with Tim Walz right now, I did not even think about that when I said it out loud. And if you have not heard about it, there is an article from Reuters from years ago where Tim Walz was in maybe college and he ingested a gallon of something that comes out of a horse's penis and had to get his stomach pumped. You want to tell me the left isn't disgusting? Okay, that's fine. But I've never met anybody in life who has decided to, guzzle a gallon of horse love. I don't even know how that is even humanly possible. Like literally, if you even try to think about it, it will make you want to vomit. Oh, I can't even. And obviously it didn't make him vomit because they had to pump his stomach. He was like, that was a lovely snack because he kept it down. Oh, y'all, I'm gonna make myself sick with that. Okay, that's gross. We're not doing that. Where was I? So those are the things I just wanted to bring up to you. It's a very weird video, I know, very squirrely today, not on purpose, but what the guy, oh geez, come on, Michelle. The whole reason I brought up the WEF is because people have been asking me, do I have it on here? Where is it? I thought I sent it to myself. Did I not send it to myself? Sons of... So the reason people are asking, I brought up the WEF is because people have been talking about September 23rd. Well, September 23rd and September 24th is when the World Economic Forum, I keep wanting to say Federation, but it's Forum. They have their meeting. September 23rd is this huge WEF meeting, and it's going to be a big deal. So that's why when I saw this guy talking about Donald Trump, I realized that he's with the WEF. Then I see the thing about Donald Trump's plane. Then I realized that people are talking about September 23rd. It all just kind of squirrel connected up here, and I was like, holy moly. They want to make sure that he is out of the way before September 23rd. Kamala and them wanted to make sure he's out of the way before November 5th, and maybe even sooner than that, since they started trying to take him out in July. It is literally like something you would see in some sort of movie, or you'd read in a, like James Patterson book, or other people who write like the true crime kind of stuff. I feel like that's where we are. Like now you have to every day check the headlines for another assassination attempt or something along those lines, or another headline coming about Tim Walz being absolutely disgusting, because that seems to be a daily thing as well. But I wanted to bring these up to you because these are things that I think people should have knowledge of. It might not be the most impactful thing in the world, and it's not what everybody's talking about, but that's why it's interesting to me, because we should know a little bit of everything to make us make better informed decisions about bigger things, and so that we can have like the most weird conversations possible with random people on the streets. Hey guys, did you hear about Tim Walz and the horse? Tim Walz and a horse walk into a hotel room. You can make a joke out of that, I'm sure. But anyway, that's that for that. I have more to talk to you about later, but I wanted to give you that information for now. Do with it what you will. But Trump did make it safely to Bozeman. He stopped in Billings. He made it safely to Bozeman. So that is good. He put up a little video. He's good. That's what matters. And we're just going to have to keep an eye on him and, pray that he stays safe, because they're really trying to take that man out. And that's scary, in my opinion. Because then what happens? Like literally what happens? If for some reason something were to happen to Donald Trump before November 5th, who would be the Republican presidential nominee besides him? Would they bump J.D. Vance up? Would they turn around and say, hey, Vivek Ramaswamy, come on, bro? Would they call up Ron DeSantis? Would Kamala get like an automatic win? I'm pretty sure that's not how that happens. Please, Jesus, don't let that be how that happens. But now it's a thought that I'm curious about. I would like your thoughts. Because obviously this is not going to be an issue. We're not going to put that bad juju out there. But, okay, let's phrase it this way. If it wasn't Donald Trump on the Republican ticket, who would you want to see? We'll phrase it like that. That way there's no bad juju associated with it, and it's just like a everyday question amongst friends. So that's what we're going to go with. All right, Squirrel Tribe. I love y'all immensely. Hope you've had a fabulous Friday, my dudes. And maybe more later, definitely some tomorrow, videos-wise, because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. And until then, have a good day. Love you, bye.